NBC's Joy Reid. She compared Kyle Rittenhouse to Brett Kavanaugh in a very racially charged way. Watch this.
To the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, it reminded a lot of people of something, the Brett Kavanaugh hearings, in which Brett Kavanaugh cried his way through the hearings. In America, there's a thing about both white vigilantism and white tears, particularly male white tears.
Are you retarded? It's not a rhetorical question. Are you retarded?
No, I'm
Good morning, everyone. Jazz Roganzo here. Another episode of What's Next. Happy Thursday. Well, with everything that's been going on, especially now that we have one of the biggest cases to appear in Scotus easily over the last 30, maybe 35 years, and this is the Mississippi abortion trial, which of course Mississippi has a ban on it, and of course it was appealed and taken to the Supreme Court. This could be what most scholars say could be the biggest threat to Roe v. Wade in easily maybe a generation. And I'm hoping that it sets the table for the downfall, the eventual Roe v. Wade, because of course Roe has led to the deaths of over 63 million babies, have killed off an entire generation of potential governors, presidential candidates, lawyers, moms, dads, granddads, grandmoms. Name the race: blacks, whites, Asians, Hispanics. But to the left, they don't give two F's. They really don't. They don't care, because it's about a woman's choice. It's about my body, my choice, unless it's regarding the coof and regarding to you getting your vax. Then they have no problem have the government step in and force you to take it or lose your job, among other things. But that's on another video. But on this one, we are going to take a trip back to the joys of Reid. Yes, it's been a long while since I've done one of these, and normally she comes up with the goods. This is Joy Reid, and of course, as always, barely anybody watches her, but regarding this case, regarding Scotus, once again, sees everything through the prism of the race, of course, as Tucker calls her, the race lady. Let's take a look. This comes out of Breitbart. Her guest, Eli Mystical, this ass clown, conservatives think a fetus should have the same legal rights as a full-grown black people. Yes, that's right. Well, you knew it was coming right out of the gate. MSLSD regular and the nation's justice correspondent. Wow. Eli Mystical said on Wednesday on the Readout, nobody watches, that conservatives believe a, quote, fetus, baby, should have the same legal rights as full-grown blacks, while reacting to Supreme Court's oral arguments of Mississippi law that bans abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy, like, i.e. the heartbeat bill that was signed in Texas. Mystal, I'm sorry, did I say mystical? I'm sorry. Mystal said, conservatives want you to think that a fetus is pre-viability, which means it cannot exist outside of the mother. Yes, it can. It's called science and medicine. Cannot live outside of the womb. Has the same and should have the same legal rights as a full-grown blacks in this country. And the fact that it doesn't have some kind of miscarriage of justice, no pun intended, and that the people who shouldn't have full rights are the women, are the women who are carrying the fetus. He continued, now I can prove that a fetus is not deserving of full personhood rights, because if it were, they would be arguing that a fetus should be given citizenship. Really? Clown. They would be arguing that the fetus should have rights to education, healthcare. He will be arguing that I should be able to claim fetuses as dependents on my taxes, which you'll note they're not. I made it sound pretty good, but let's hear it from the ass clown coming from the race lady themselves.
With me now, Ellie Mystal, justice correspondent for The Nation. And Ellie, it feels to me like the conservative justices were trying to, in a weaselly way, try to brand themselves as the heroes from the Brown versus Board decision, to try to wrap themselves in Brown versus Board. They love to quote Plessy. That's one of the anti-abortion world's famous things they love to go for. But they're trying to wrap themselves in that because they understand that they are going against the vast majority of Americans' will when they subject women to the vicissitudes of their state and said the state's
The vast
decide what women do with their
majority.
bodies. Your thoughts?
Clown.
Conservatives want you to think that a fetus, a fetus who has pre-viability, that means that it cannot exist outside of its mother, it cannot live outside of the womb, should have the same legal rights as full-grown black people in this country. And
I'm going to stop it right there because that's all you need to know. That's pretty much it in the gist. Okay, my thoughts. This guy, Eli Mystal, is an ass clown. He's an absolute racist ass clown. He's like Eric Michael Dyson, except Eric Michael Dyson is a little bit smarter because he actually went to a real college. When you have Joy Reid, and anybody who's watched her show, I have, and the sad thing is that every single thing that comes out of her mouth is regarding race. She sees everything from a fucking prism of race, and that's pathetic. And you wonder why no one gives two fucks about her show. But in regarding to the Mississippi case, like I mentioned earlier regarding the heartbeat bill, which is similar to Texas's bill. And of course, Texas bill is legal. Of course, a federal appeals court, not a federal appeals court, the Scotus, the Supreme Court themselves, actually let it go. They're like, you know what? We're not going to hear it. But they're going to hear the Mississippi case as they are with oral arguments started as of yesterday. I believe that at the end of the day, that SCOTUS will allow this to stand. It's going to be 5-4, as all decisions at a Supreme Court have been 5-4. Now, of course, the linchpin in all this could be Roberts, because Roberts has a history of trying to dance that little line. He tries do that little dance, say, well, maybe, and he'll go back and forth. So he's the one that needs to be watched. But when you have these knuckleheads on Joy Reid, and there was a little piece in regards to a bunch of other knuckleheads, and you know what? Yeah, I'm going to show it. Why not? Because it kind of crystallizes everything that these leftist knuckleheads are all about when it comes to my body, my choice, a woman's right. Let's take a look. When you have someone like Joy Reid, who is a clown, she's a buffoon, and as Tucker likes to call her, the race lady, this is what you get, and no surprise. But this case is going to be interesting as it goes forward this week, and like I just said moments ago, I think it's going to be a 5-4, and the decision will stand in Mississippi, and the heartbeat bill will continue to move on, and of course, once again, strengthening the reason that Roe v. Wade needs to go down, because lives are at stake. And with that being said, I'm Jasper Gonzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more just like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.